But if you want to change your life, you got to make a decision to change your life. And sitting around and waiting to feel ready is not the decision I want you to make. So when you're done listening to this, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I want you to turn toward that thing that you've always dreamt of, that you've been waiting to do, and you go.
Hello girlies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sade, if you don't know already, and welcome to today's video. I am super excited to do this video today. I have did something like this a little bit before, but I kind of want to get more in depth and really just give you guys an oversight on how to elevate your life. And there's so many different things that you can do, and I'm definitely going to walk you guys through what I do in my life whenever I'm going through a hard time or when I just feel really negative. This is, and just a disclaimer, I am not the most positive person. I'm still working on all of this. This is just what works for me and what I do to pretty much elevate my life, and I'm hoping that my tips and tricks can also help you guys out for a better, positive, healthy, romanticized, manifested life. So before we get right into the video, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys have anything that I didn't mention that you guys do, make sure you guys comment them down below, so that way we can all pretty much help each other out. We can talk to each other in the comments. So let's get right into the video. So we all know life is life, and you cannot always stay positive 24/7. There's things that happen that we can't control. I have my fair share in feeling down sometimes and falling out of routines and not doing things that make me happy or reacting in a masculine way. We all have things that we do when we get kind of in a negative mind state. I'm a really emotional person, to be honest with you. I cry a lot, get frustrated fast, I get angry fast, and you know, some of these emotions, it's super hard to control. And being a female, we naturally are more emotional human beings. Everything that I'm going to mention in this video helps me get my life back on track whenever I have fallen off or stopped doing routines. So I'm going to share those with you guys today. I have my little tea here, and I'm just gonna... The first thing that I really want to talk about that is super important is my daily routine. I noticed that whenever I stick with a routine, and this routine specifically, I have better days, and it just helps me stay more positive and being optimistic and looking forward to the day. I'm going to start off with my morning routine. I have been waking up earlier in the day, and I noticed that whenever I wake up earlier, I feel like I have a longer day and I have more time to do things. And you know, I really feel more grateful that I have a whole entire day to look forward to and be grateful, you know, because whenever I wake up at 12 or 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., I'm already starting the day off bad. I'm already like, dang, I can't do this today. I can't do that today. I'm running out of time. I can't get ready because I don't have time to get ready. So it just, you know, starting your day off early really makes a difference. Really makes a difference. I'm not no 6 a.m. girl. I'm not no 5 a.m. girl, but I do wake up at 7 or 8. Sometimes 9. Honestly, it just depends, but I noticed that whenever I wake up a lot earlier, I feel like I really have conquered the day. When the day ends, I'm like, wow, I did so much today. I accomplished so many things. I did all the things that I needed to take care of, and you just feel really good about your day. So waking up early is actually really important to starting your day. Now, when I wake up, I have recently started not checking my phone. I have not been checking my phone whenever I wake up in the morning, and I noticed that my mind is so much more calm when I don't check my phone, because the second that I get on my phone, as soon as my eyes open, my brain starts going all over the place, like, oh, let me check Instagram, let me check TikTok, let me check my emails, let me check my text messages. So I'm pretty much am starting my day by checking my phone first thing to be chaotic, and I don't want chaos. I noticed that after I check it, my brain has a very short attention span, and versus when I don't check it when I first wake up, I'm able to focus more. I'm able to control my thoughts and have it not like just so chaotic. And I think that not checking your phone is super beneficial to starting your day, and I really have been appreciating just being on my phone less in the mornings and focusing on getting myself ready and taking care of my mind, because that should be the most important thing that you do or should worry about when you first wake up. So after I wake up, I sit in my bed for about 10 minutes to just meditate. So the 10 minutes that I would use to be on my phone, I decide to just sit up in my bed and really meditate and thank God for whatever I might be grateful for. Just waking up by itself, you should be super grateful to have another day. I also do affirmations in the morning. I kind of want to set the tone for the day, so I'll tell myself affirmations, which can be a variety of things. I say I am a money magnet. I'm gonna have a great day today. Success comes in abundance, and happiness comes in abundance, and positivity comes in abundance, and I attract positivity. I do all of those affirmations over and over in my bed for the first 10 minutes of me being awake, and I really like doing that because I start feeling really positive and really grateful, and that is what is gonna help you with your mindset for the entire day or the week, or whatever it might be. Some people journal when they first wake up. I would rather meditate, just to kind of give myself some zen for the day. So that is another thing that I have been doing, is meditation when I wake up, and I actually really see the benefits of it. I am training my mind to be a positive for the day, asking the law of attraction to bring me positive vibes. After I do that, I will get ready, and that is another thing that I have been doing recently. This is something that I actually am currently struggling with, because sometimes I feel really lazy to get up, get ready, like ready. This is what I mean. So after you do your hygiene, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, doing your skincare, I notice that when I am ready, I have more motivation to get everything done that I need to get done. Going to the store, running errands, or anything that you may have planned for the day. I have more motivation to get up and do it when I get up and get ready. I feel good about myself. I'm in a good mood. I feel like a bad bitch, and that getting ready goes a really long way. It gives you confidence, it motivates you, it does so many things for you when you make yourself look presentable. You don't have to get ready every single day, as far as like full beat phase, hair done, outfit popping, you know what I mean? But just at least getting yourself presentable and feeling really good about yourself and how you look and how you present yourself. So getting ready has also recently been a part of my everyday routine. I'm trying my best to look presentable every single where I go, no matter if it's the grocery store or to the movies or to a dinner date, anywhere I go, I always want to look presentable. It just really helps with confidence and feeling good and giving you motivation to do whatever you need to do for the day. So after I do all of that, obviously I will do whatever I need to do for the day, whatever it may be. If things go right or go wrong, I'm always trying to stay positive and just have really good positive energy. Even if going to Starbucks to get a little drink to make me feel better or just give me the vibes for the day, I will do that. I'll go Jamba Juice, or just the little things, or even make coffee at home or make tea at home before you leave. I noticed that even just doing little things for yourself and romanticizing those things that you do for yourself just makes you feel so good, and I really enjoy doing stuff like that. So after I do all that, like I said, I go about my day and I do everything that I need to do. And then sometime during the day, or when I get home from running errands, or whatever the case might be, I take time to journal. I have been journaling for a very, very long time, years. I've been journaling for years. I have like 13 journals that I've written in, started. Some of them I haven't finished, but I have journaled for years. And this is also important for your daily affirmations and your daily manifestations. This also just gives you a place to vent, I guess you can say. Sometimes I'll write about my day, and sometimes I'll write my affirmations or what I want. It just depends on what vibe I'm feeling, and I notice that whenever I journal for my day, it gives me an outlet to vent to. If I can't talk to my mom or my friends, I have a journal that I can write in and I can get everything out. Also, I just recently started going to therapy again. I used to go to therapy and I decided, why not invest in my mental health? So I have been going to see a therapist, and that is also beneficial. I know not everyone has money to see a therapist, so journaling is another option to vent and let everything out that you need to let out. So I make sure I do every single day. If not every day, every other day. For sure, I journal once a week. That is at least the minimum that I do, journaling once a week. And just writing down how you feel, writing down what you want in life, writing down your goals, writing down your things that you want. There's so many things that you can journal about, and that is another step to getting closer to things that you can manifest. So I really always make sure that I journal at least once a day. Usually I'll do it before I go to bed, or if I'm at work, I'm getting off work around midnight or 1 in the morning, I'll make sure I do it at work. So that's very important to journal and reflect on your day, reflect on your week. You can write down your goals, things that you want, items you want, materialistic things you want. There's so many things that you can journal, and writing things down really makes it that much closer to you achieving those goals and getting those things and venting. So it's really important to journal, at least to me it is, and I make sure I do it every day or every 2 days, or like I said, if I'm going through it, I'll at least make sure I do it once a week and do like a weekly log pretty much. And also I like to plan my weeks every Sunday. When I get my schedule for work, I will literally plan out my entire week. I'll make sure that I wake up at least every day at 8 in the morning. If I'm not working the morning shift, I'll wake up early every single day and just kind of plan out the day. And writing down what you want to do for the week can help you staying on track and keeping this routine that I'm trying to tell you guys about. It gives you a lot of motivation, like, hey, I need to do this on Thursday and I need to do that on Wednesday. So planning your weeks is what I do, and it's very beneficial to me. I feel super organized. I don't feel chaotic. I know what I'm doing on my day-to-day basis. Just feeling more organized and not, like I said in the beginning, not so chaotic and all over the place. And maybe you might not have time to do that, or you forgot about something. Well, if you plan your days correctly, you will make sure that you get everything that you need done. And anytime that I make an appointment, I write it in my planner immediately, the time, the day, everything, so that way I can stay on track with my routine and my schedules and my appointments, and just being really organized. I feel like I really have a peace of mind. As I'm getting older, I see the importance of being organized. Now, the next thing that I do in my routine is I like to make sure that I take a nice hot shower before I go to bed, just to kind of relax myself and relax all of my muscles and my mind. And in the shower I do affirmations as well. That's another place that I really like to do affirmations, is in the shower. The shower for me is really peaceful, and that is the time that I like to take to myself. So I always make sure that I shower before I go to bed, or early in the morning when I wake up. And also having a really good shower routine. Yes, having a really good shower routine. It makes me feel so good that I'm taking care of myself and my hygiene and doing things that I really enjoy doing. You know, buying all the body scrubs that I like. There's so many things that I like that I really enjoy about the shower. So I always make sure that I take time to relax my mind. And another thing that I also recommend doing before you go to bed is listening or watching a really motivational podcast. It gives me motivation for the next day, honestly, and I'd rather watch that than, you know, a bunch of random shit that is gonna fill up my head with things that I really don't need to be listening to, because what you listen to as far as like music, what you watch, everything really affects your mind. And I have been really wanting to better myself, so I'll watch a podcast, a really motivational, positive podcast before I go to bed. The last thing that I do before I go to bed is doing my affirmations once again. I will do my affirmations throughout the day constantly, but before bed is super important after the shower, because your mind has been calmed and you really have a clear mind to think about everything that you want and everything you want to attract. So I have been doing my affirmations before I go to bed every single night, and I have really been just in a really good positive mind state. And these are all the things that I have done to really improve my mental. So that is my daily routine. Those are the things that I have been doing every single day. It has improved my day-to-day activities so much. And I hope that you guys can give me a review if you start doing it, and comment down below how these things have helped you girls. So the next topic that I want to get into is romanticizing your life. I also spoke about this a little bit previously before, but I didn't get really into that much detail. And I am extremely big on romanticizing my life. I love to stop and smell the flowers. I love to romanticize so many different things in my life, and it just, I don't know, it does something to my soul, it does something to my energy, and it makes me that much more grateful for everything that I have and everything that I'm going to have, because I definitely am attracting everything that I want in my life. Romanticizing is a part of it. There is a bunch of different things that you can do for romanticizing your life. It can be the littlest thing ever that you take time to acknowledge and to appreciate. Something so small as even wearing a cute set of pajamas before you go to bed, like silk pajamas, you know, romanticizing that, you know, you feel good in bed, you're looking cute, you feel sexy, and even the smallest things you can romanticize. Also, another thing that I really romanticize about is my fragrance. I have a signature fragrance, and I'm gonna tell you guys what it is. So I wear both of these at the same time, which is the YSL Libre and the YSL Black Opium. I feel like that is my signature fragrance, and I wear it that combo often. But what I romanticize about that is my scent leaving a stamp on someone or somewhere, or this is me, this is what I smell like, this is my favorite thing to put on when I leave the house. And anyone who will know me, maybe they'll smell someone else wearing the same perfume, and they'll be like, oh my god, that's exactly how Sade smells. So, you know, doing little things that literally make you feel super luxurious, and even more than what you are, at least you feel the vibes when you take time to romanticize things that maybe you normally don't do. Like maybe you can change your bed sheets to silk bed sheets and feel luxurious and soft, and like you're doing something, well, you are doing something good for your skin and for your hair, and you know, just elevating your life, you know, taking it a step further and taking everything you do to the next level. And another thing that I like to do to romanticize and elevate my life is taking myself on solo dates. Being comfortable being alone, appreciating your own time and your own company. Appreciating your own company is so important, where you're gonna fall in love with yourself, and everything around you. I like to go on movie dates. I like to go on movie dates alone. I like to take myself out to eat and, just appreciate myself. I love doing stuff like that. That is probably one of my most number one favorite things to do, is doing things for myself by myself. I will even take myself on the Target date, which, if you guys watch my vlogs, I'm always at Target. I will take myself to Target and buy me a little Starbucks so I can walk around Target with my little matcha and, buying myself things that I want and romanticize that. Even just going to Target, I romanticize that. I love doing that. I feel so good, and I feel like I can be in my own company and appreciate myself and take myself on romantic dates, because if no one else will, who's going to do it for you if you can't even do that for yourself? You should always take care of yourself and put yourself first no matter what. So romanticizing time alone and being comfortable being by myself and going places alone. I know it might not be safe in today's day and age, so make sure that you're always being safe and watching your surroundings. But I like doing things alone, and as you guys know, I go with my mom everywhere, so even me and my mom doing things, I romanticize that. I love appreciating and romanticizing anything that I do alone. It's such a beautiful thing to experience, and once you get so comfortable in your skin and being your own company, you're more prone to do things more often, and make plans. So you're not waiting on someone else to do it. You're able to just get up and do whatever you want alone. And that's really beautiful, honestly, because not a lot of people are comfortable with being alone. A lot of people are depending on other people for their own happiness and comfortability. So that's something that I like to do to romanticize about myself, is taking myself on dates and appreciating my time and my own company. And another thing that I have been doing recently is buying myself flowers. I love flowers, and I just love the way they look, the way they make me feel, the way they smell. So I have been going to buy myself flowers at least once a week. It's just so cute, and I appreciate that so much, and I don't have to wait for anyone to buy me flowers. I can do it on my own and I still get the same feeling. So that is something that I've been doing recently that I have been romanticizing, is buying myself flowers. And you know what's even better is I get to experience buying them and choosing them and putting them in a vase and arranging them how I like. I love doing that, and it's just such a beautiful experience that I spoil myself. And that's something that is very small that you can do for yourself, and I love doing that. I buy myself flowers, I'll buy my mom flowers. I am really taking time to acknowledge the small details that I love and that you would usually wait for someone else to do. The fact that you can do it on your own and still have the same feeling is very inspiring. Another thing that goes hand in hand with elevation and romanticizing is whenever you make food, or even go and buy food, instead of maybe eating it at home or eating it at the place where you bought it from, you can go take yourself on a little picnic date and really have a really cute setup. Maybe make a charcuterie board, or even take a bottle of wine, and maybe you can even go and get Subway and put it on a little platter, and or if you don't want to go alone, maybe invite someone. I love doing picnics, and it makes me feel super romantic. And even if I'm with friends or by myself, I romanticize. That is another thing that I really love to romanticize, is being at a park or somewhere that has a really beautiful scenery and just having a blanket on the grass, and having a cute little sundress or a cute sweatsuit on if you want to go for more chill vibes, and having a whole platter of things that you love to eat, and being a little extra. There's nothing wrong with being a little extra, and everything that I do for myself, I always like to take it a step further. So picnics, I have learned that I really love doing. I love doing picnics, and now that the weather is getting better and a little warmer outside, I am definitely going to be taking myself on some picnic dates and taking my little bottle of wine and a cute glass and making a little charcuterie board. Sometimes I even go get a pizza from Little Caesars and I put it on a platter, and I bring chips and a little bowl, and I'll open the bag of chips and pour it in the bowl, you know, make the aesthetics look so nice so you can romanticize it and take pictures. And there's so many things to elevate or take to the next step that you can do for a more luxurious feeling. And whenever you feel more happy and in love with the things that you're doing, you're gonna attract more of that. And even if it's something that you normally don't do, or maybe it's a splurge or something like that, you're putting out the energy and the feelings of having that item, and you're definitely gonna attract it more often, and that thing might become a permanent thing that you do in your life. So definitely romanticizing is an extremely big part to elevating your life, and that is also gonna tie into, you need to be delusional. Yes, you do. You definitely need to be delusional. You need to act like you have something already that you don't have, or something that you might have in a moment that you normally wouldn't have. Being delusional gives you the feeling of having it. So you already are putting out to the universe that you have it, and it's gonna keep attracting that. And one day you might, like I said, you might permanently have something that you didn't have before, and you got it by being delusional. I know it sounds so crazy, but the law of attraction is literally thinking of things that you don't have and feeling like you have something that you don't have, which is being delusional. That is so big, and I know it sounds so crazy to say, but it absolutely works. And I'm actually going to share with you guys a little personal story that I have about being delusional. So before I had got the Mercedes, as you guys may or may not know, I did have a BMW 5 Series, and I bought it brand new, straight off the lot. But before I got it, I was already telling people that I had it because I knew I was gonna get it. That's something that I really wanted, and I was being delusional. Or I would tell people that I'm getting it, and maybe I never even went to the dealership. I literally was being delusional. But guess what? I ended up getting it, and I put out into the universe that I wanted it so freaking bad, and that I already had it. And I imagined myself driving it, and I've never even test drove it. I would go to sleep imagining having the car in my driveway. I would imagine what the steering wheel felt like. And that's the same thing that I did with the Mercedes that I have now. I literally was so delusional. I was acting like I had something that I didn't have. And guess what? Now I have it. And the same feelings that I had before I got it is the same feelings that I have now as I currently have it. Another thing that I do to elevate my life is I read, and I get books that relate to personal growth, because personal growth is so important, and expanding your mindset to things that probably you've never been exposed to before is super important. I like to get books in the genre of personal growth, and I also like to read about business and just give myself more knowledge. And going to Barnes & Noble or whatever bookstore that you guys may have, that is something also that you can romanticize about, you know. And something about being in a bookstore just really gives you some type of calming energy, some type of zen. Just being in a bookstore just will do that to you. But I'm gonna share with you guys some of the different genres and books that I read. This one is actually for business, and I did read the whole book. In this book you can get a lot of knowledge from. I did get this when I first started my business, and it did help me a lot. It gave me a lot of knowledge and a lot of the things that I didn't expect when first opening my business. So this book is called The Girl's Guide to Starting Your Own Business by Caitlin Friedman and Kimberly Uriel. This book I really enjoy reading, and from time to time I will come back and read a few chapters in here that may relate to something that I'm going through with my business. And yeah, I really love this book. This is in the business genre. I got this at Barnes & Noble, and I think it was like $16, so wasn't too much, but I love this book, and I really love that it's for girls specifically. I don't know why it's for girls specifically, but you know, anything with girls I'm a support. And yeah, so I recommend getting this book if you're into this stuff. And I'm sure that there's other business girl books that you can purchase, but this is the one that I had bought when I first started my business. Another book that I read, and this one is in the relationship genre. I've seen this a lot on TikTok, and there was one girl specifically that would always read chapters out of this book, and something just about it just caught my attention, and I ended up going to go purchase it. And some of you may or may not know about it, but it's called Why Men Love. This book is actually really funny, but I have learned a lot, and it kind of talks about the psychology of men and how they think. Yeah, I don't know, I actually really enjoyed this book. Like I said, this is in the relationship genre. I did read this entire book, and this is something that I actually really recommend getting for the girlies. Yeah, because we don't have time to have men be walking all over us and doing mind games and all that. So this book actually really helps you do the opposite of that. This book is actually really informing, and I have honestly applied some of these things that she talks about in real life, and it definitely works. So, and the next book that I have been reading, or that I already read, is a book that I have spoken about a million times on my channel. This book has literally changed my entire life, and they sell it at Barnes & Noble, on Amazon. They sell it at a bunch of places, but this book is so amazing, and it covers every single thing in your life, from love to finances to health and mental. They also talk about the law of attraction. So this book is called The Secret. I have been reading this book since I was in high school, and this is where I originally learned the law of attraction and how to manifest. So it's very, very beneficial, and reading this when you wake up, before you go to bed, throughout the day, will help your mind state. Yes, your state of mind. I freaking love this book, and I will forever continue to read it over and over and over and over. I love reading this book when I start feeling a little bit down, and even when I'm really positive and having a good time in life, I still come back and read this book because it just gives me so much motivation to continue to be positive and know that anything that I want, I could really get. So this book is called The Secret to Love, Health, and Money, a Masterclass by Rhonda Byron. I think it's Byron. I don't know, but it's called The Secret, and I recommend this book. Out of all the books that I said, I recommend this book. This book is pretty much everything that I'm talking about in this video. So definitely this book, if you do anything, take anything from this video, you take getting this book, because this book is amazing. I'm starting to take more serious as I get older is surrounding yourself with people who think the way you do, and that motivate you, inspire you, is positive for the most part. And my circle, as I'm getting older, my circle is getting smaller, but I don't see it as a bad thing. I always want to surround myself with people who are like-minded and who can inspire me to be a better me. Once you eliminate people out of your life that may not be on the same frequency as you, there's for sure gonna come a time where you need to distance yourself. You need to realize that, hey, you know, this person doesn't want better for themselves. This person might always think negative. This person is content with their life as is. And me personally, I want to surround myself with people who want to grow. There's no such thing as being content. You should always want more for yourself, and that's the type of people that I like to surround myself with. Like I said, my circle has gotten a lot smaller as I've gotten older, but I actually would rather have one inspiring friend who's like-minded than to have 30 friends who want to go to the club every weekend, or who's okay with, you know, the minimal things in life. And that's just, and if that is you, kudos to you. If that's what you want, then by all means. But me personally, I want to strive for the best, and I want to surround myself with people who want better for themselves. And you know, I want intellectual conversations, I want motivational conversations, and you know, people who take that very seriously, because I get tired of talking about things that really don't matter, gossip and drama and stuff like that. And having gossip and drama in your life as well is another thing that I try my best to stay away from. Personally, I don't like stuff like that. I am a human being at the end of the day, and I am a female. Some of these things are natural to us, but I try my best to eliminate that as much as possible, and gossiping. And you know, that's what I have a therapist for. That's what I have a journal for. I don't need to go and spread other rumors or spread someone else's business, because I should be worried about myself anyway. So yeah, friends and people who you surround yourself with is very important, and I take that very seriously. That's probably why you guys always see the same people in my vlog, and usually I'm always with my parents. I get inspired when I'm with my parents because I just want better for myself so I can take care of them one day. So yeah, that is another big thing to elevating your life. You have to be very well-rounded in all aspects of your life. You can't just have one part of your life that's striving and another part of your life that is putting negative things in your mind. So yeah, definitely who you surround yourself with is very important. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video and learned a lot from things that I do and routines that I have that help me elevate my life. And if there's something that I didn't mention that helps you guys elevate your life or stay in a positive mind state, please comment down below and let me know what that is, and we can all help each other out. I want everyone to be the greatest at whatever it is that they may be pursuing. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!